This edition of Tru Heel Heat is sponsored to you by Wrestling Travel. Wrestling Travel is an organization that brings wrestling fans from all over the world together to go to your biggest events like WrestleMania, Wrestle Kingdom, and Bound for Glory. To learn more, go to WrestlingTravel.org and also subscribe to the Wrestling Travel YouTube channel and learn all about Wrestling Travel and check out Lockdown Sessions with Justin Clapper.
Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. We are back once again with Tru Heel Heat 85. On this edition of Tru Heel Heat, we will be discussing the latest plans for WWE SummerSlam, fallout from New Japan Pro Wrestling Goku Lord, Week 43 of the Wednesday Night War, New Japan Pro Wrestling's announcement of the King of Pro Wrestling title, and we will rank every single NXT Women's Champion in history in honor of 7 years since the first champion was crowned. I am back once again with the princess of all the true heels, Miss Krssi Love.
Hello.
Where are your clothes?
I have on a dress. What do you mean? Where's my clothes?
You look butt naked right now. Like you
I have on a whole dress.
I'm like, baby girl. I'm like, fix
on a
your
whole
camera.
dress.
Like you're looking like you are about to get us like 10 million views of teasing of the lynch. Like what's going on here?
No.
Like, I'm
It's
like Mr. Love.
outside.
Like, what's up? Like, yo,
Oh my God.
I get free balling.
Stop it.
Wow. Yes, my other co-host is back, and yes, he is in rarefied air. He is the resident Tru Heel alcoholic, all in Top Guy JJ.
What, we got SP Vandross on the mic now? Like, I'm meant to comment on this. Like, yo, he got the smooth talk, like he got the pillow talk voice, like he ready to tackle some sheets tonight. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my gosh.
I know the babies are probably asleep. You know, you probably
For the viewers at home,
off, like, with your yelling and your over-absorbing voice,
For the viewers at home, Top Guy JJ does not watch the show if he's not on it, so he did not hear me last week announce
I heard you. No, I heard you.
I have a new place where I'm filming.
Fuck with you. No, I heard it. I heard it. Great job with you two and Josh. Josh held it down, Josh usually holds it down when he comes on. Oh, I heard it. I just needed my opportunity and my couple of seconds to fuck with you. Because I was like, I ain't hear my man on here with the pillow talk voice. I ain't get to do that.
I love that. The pillow talk voice. That is actually really nice. I like that.
He had to come back and snap on both of us to start the show.
Right?
Of course.
Let me pull my dress all the way up here so he can see it.
I'm just saying, I'm a faithful man, but easy there. You know what I mean?
It's hot outside, and whatever.
Yeah,
relax.
We have to bring the heat back in Tru Heel Heat. You know what I mean?
Well, there you go.
There we go.
It always comes along with the drinks, along with Top Guy JJ, of course.
But I'm 1,000% sober right now, but Krssi is looking as gorgeous as ever.
Thank you.
That's why she's the princess. All right. So, as always, we got to start off every Tru Heel Heat with our Tru Heel roll call. But this is a quick reminder to you, the viewers watching at home. Push that like button, push the subscribe button, the iCard down at the bottom. You can push that to subscribe, and the bell to stay notified for all the great content right here on Tru Heel Heat. We want to thank you all. We are past 750 subscribers right here on our YouTube channel.
Guys, okay.
Yes, we are pushing along. We are pushing along. Miss Krssi Love said that she wants to hit 1,000 subscribers by the fall, by September. So you guys gotta help us out. Push that subscribe button, share this video, get it out to other wrestling fans, and help us with our march to 1K. So this is Tru Heel Heat 85. As always, we start off with our Tru Heel roll call, where we shout out you, the viewers watching at home, our subscribers, everyone supporting the Tru Heels on social media, our top 3 conversation starters, our Tru Heel Trinity on our Tru Heels group page. Coming in at number 3, once again, is the New Japan aficionado James Wims. Coming in at number 2 is our newly christened True Heel Trinity member Charles Kirkhoff, and coming in at number 1 is the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson.
Nick holding it down again, yo. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a couple weeks. I'm telling you, yo, this seductive sound, yo. This my man sound.
How long has
Man
Charles
sound like
been
he
here
about
now?
to do the interlude to one of Usher's songs, you know,
You know what?
like come
Yeah.
here, baby, let me lay you down, you know.
I just
my God.
I mean, I'll just have to get used to Top Guy JJ getting turned on by my voice. A couple of other True Heels that we got to shout out.
Is that kind of weird? You know,
Yeah,
is it
yeah,
kind of weird?
just a little
I
bit.
know. I'm just saying, we straight as arrows, but I'm just saying is that you know. I mean, I got
Whoa, sir! Don't point your arrow at me.
you finally got a good quality there, sir.
A couple of True Heels that we got to shout out: Ted Williams, Tim Mount, Joshi the Cat Guy, Mario Moraro, Agnew, Ron Carnage, and Angelo C. Batista Jr.
Wow, that's a name.
Yes, absolutely. And our YouTube subscriber highlight, as with the past couple of Tru Heel Heats, we're going to shout out a couple of your comments on a couple of our videos on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. Shaw Powers commented on our Lions Break Collision Night 4 review. We've got to give it up to Jay News, who's been putting in a lot of work on our YouTube channel this week. I think he dropped about 4 videos this week alone. And Shaw Powers commented, these Lion Breaks Collision shows have been solid for what they are. I hope Strong is more of the studio wrestling type of show. I think with it being empty arena and nothing but the American talent, they should probably lean a little bit more into a Western style presentation wise, with a little more emphasis on promos, storylines, and because I don't expect these guys to kill themselves in front of no fans. Very great point that Shaw Powers made on this video. Another comment that we got on our AE Recap 28. Oops, caught me smoking. What a name. And he's got a cool YouTube channel where he talks about nothing but smoking marijuana. So shout out to him. Chris G is a subscriber. He says WWE fell off. AEW is getting so much better. I agree with you, sir. And Kayfabe Tactics, probably the king of all comments for the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. He commented on True Rewind 13. It's crazy how many memories these shows trigger when I go back and rewatch them. Pro wrestling is pretty cringy right now, but don't worry, things will get better. Also, the only thing Nitro made me want to do is go watch that Saturday night show to see Benoit versus Wright. Also, I enjoyed the Eddie match that opened up Nitro. I'm not finished up yet, but are you even going to talk about Karate Fighters? That was my shit. Just wait until they do the tournament. I agree the Karate Fighter segments are kind of one of the highlights of Monday Night Raw in 1995, which says a lot about the quality. So we got to get into what we missed. What we missed is New Japan Pro Wrestling Sengoku Lord. On Sengoku Lord this week, that was on Saturday, July 25th, Evil defeated Hiromu Takahashi to defend the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental titles in a very good main event. As I said on our Sengoku Lord review with J News, this was the best match Evil has had since his whole heel turn, and the fact that Hiromu Takahashi got a better match out of Evil than Okada and Naito says a lot, people. And after the match, it was Naito who came out and challenged the IWGP Dual Gold Champion Evil. So we will see Naito versus Evil at the New Japan Pro Wrestling Summer Struggle on August 29th. We also had a huge announcement about that. That show on August 29th will be in the huge Genku Stadium, which is a big baseball stadium out in Japan. So this is going to be an open air stadium, which is going to allow them to have more fans in attendance. So I'm very much looking forward to that. We'll definitely talk more about that right here on our YouTube channel. And of course, we had Shingo defeat El Desperado to defend the never openweight title. I was very conflicted going into this match, but I'm happy that Shingo won. And Miss Krssi Love correctly predicted Shingo to get the win there. So congrats to you, Krssi.
Thank you.
Wait, you got something from New Japan, right?
I did. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
My guess was correct. Yep.
That's why I had to give her praise for that. So
I never get it right.
you know,
Some of them, not all of them.
your percentages, you have a kind of a losing percentage, but you're getting
I
up there.
do.
Kind of New York Knicks like.
Wow. I
Damn.
don't never want to be the Knicks.
Just when the season is starting and they're not even playing. Damn.
Not even in the bubble.
Not even nowhere near the bubble. We don't want them there anyway.
No, they would poison the bubble for sure.
They're gonna taint the bubble. We don't need you there.
Kind of like Lou Williams. Anyway,
You know what?
SmackDown over
This
on
is not about sports right now. We can't talk about sports because trust me, now he gonna need a swift cuss out. But go ahead.
This show will never end.
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely. Over on SmackDown, we had the long anticipated bar fight between Jeff Hardy and Sheamus, where Jeff Hardy got the victory with the return of Brother Nero, or the first time appearance of Brother Nero.
Return. He never came.
Well, he's the return to us wrestling fans that know him from Impact Wrestling, but this is
Right.
Brother Nero's debut in the WWE. What was your thoughts on the bar fight, Krssi?
First of all, why are we still using his sobriety as something that needs to be in a storyline? I'm not a part. I hate it. I don't like it at all. But I was excited to see Brother Nero. Does he have to give his brother any type of like money for that to use that character, or that character would solely belong to him?
I would guess it's his character, but
Okay.
he did mention that his brother deleted his WWE career.
Wow. Okay. Well, there you go.
We also had Nikki Cross defeated Alexa Bliss to get another shot at Bayley's SmackDown Women's title, and we had Grand Metalik win a Fatal 4-Way to get a shot at AJ Styles' Intercontinental title. Both of those matches will take place on this coming week's SmackDown. And one of the bigger news, which I gotta get JJ's thoughts on, Kofi Kingston will be out for 6 weeks following the tables match back at the Horror Show at Extreme Rules, and the New Day have blessed Big E to go on his own for singles glory. So what are your thoughts on the potential singles push for Big E, Top Guy JJ?
I just hope that he gets the camera time along with the in-ring work, and him not just squash everybody in like 2 minutes and not show how good he actually is.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the thing that WWE is very capable of doing, is taking them and pushing them to the moon too fast. Like, let him grind it for a couple of months and not make him the number one contender by Survivor Series. Like, this is what WWE will do, is that they would force it, and then they'd be like, then they run out of ideas, and then they fucked over. And it's not even Royal Rumble season.
That is kind of what the WWE MO usually is, so we will have to keep an eye on that and the Big E push. The hashtag WW Big E, as Black Wrestling Alliance posted up on their social media this week. Over on Raw, Sasha Banks defeated Asuka by countout to win the Raw Women's title.
2 belts, baby!
And now Bayley and Sasha have all the gold in the WWE Women's Division.
More annoying, and to be even better and great and be on top. Love it. Let's do it.
Krssi Love, I suspect that you enjoyed this, didn't you?
I loved I told y'all last week that I was so happy and ecstatic of all of this, and I knew she would win again. Like, that, you can't not let these two girls be on top and be tag champs and double champs. It's like book, like you don't have no one else there to make this thing be what it is. They're annoying and hysterical at the same time, and it's going to be great. Great heels. Love it.
I'm all for Bayley and Sasha. They are the MVPs of the WWE main roster right now.
Yep.
But my God, what a shitty finish. What a nonsensical, shitty finish. Like, they should have kept the finish from Extreme Rules. The finish from Extreme Rules
was much better.
Made more sense than a random WWE cameraman putting on the camera backstage during a really good matchup and putting it on the big screen. 1. 2, Kyrie Sane, that was almost murdered twice by Nia Jax, did not scream for Asuka then. And
But now
Asuka didn't save her when Asuka didn't have a match for her title. But
what a way for her to leave. I hated every single minute of that. I couldn't stay. I appreciated the ending from Extreme Rules, which was way better and much better.
Made more sense.
It made more sense. You count her out. The whole rematch was stupid. You shouldn't even never had it in the first place. It was all dumb. Why do they do the stupid shit that they do? I don't even know. But I watched it, unfortunately, and I got, I'm in it. So,
the best thing about it,
what?
Sasha wore my favorite outfit again.
Her ring, shout out to her husband, because her ring gear is just like phenomenal. Like, it's just great. But again, I hated. They shouldn't even never even fought on my. Like, it was just dumb. I mean, sorry. And for her to go out that way, I didn't want to see her leave that way. Like, that's stupid. That's just horrible. Like,
just what a shitty finish. Just what a shitty finish.
They gotta write her off, baby. WWE's gotta write her off TV. Bailey's gotta kill her. And then
she didn't kill her.
The following morning on social media, thank you.
Right.
What a shitty finish. What a shitty beatdown. Like, how is that the right on? She got murdered. She got her head busted open by Nia Jax. And Bailey gently pushing her against a garage door.
She got the back of her back banged against the garage door ever so gently.
And then, like, after she's like, oh my god. My friend would have had to just sit there and wait till I get this belt back.
Exactly.
She'd be all right.
Exactly.
You know what's fucked up is that it actually wasn't a bad match until that whole sequence went down.
It wasn't. It was a really good matchup.
Both matches were both good, but again, Asuka!
I said to Romeo and a few others that Kyrie Sane sounded like a little Asian girl lost at Pathmark. It was just like I like every single. I was just saying. That's what it kind of sounded like to me. Also on Raw, we had Randy Orton challenge Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. That is now official for the biggest party of the summer. I'm looking forward to that one. Yeah. And Seth Rollins makes Buddy Murphy or Jess Murphy.
What did that happen?
It happened about a few months ago. He attacked the eye of Aleister Black, doing the same stunt that he did to Rey Mysterio all those weeks ago. Top Guy JJ, you weren't with us for Tru Heel Heat 84. What was your thoughts on an eye for an eye?
It's the funniest shit I've ever saw. Like, yo, dude. First of all, the eyeball was dry. Like, let's talk about how dry it was. Like, you could see the underlines in the eyeball. Yo, like, it was hilarious, yo. And what's fucked up about it? What's so fucked up about it is that it was a damn good match. It was a damn good match. If that would have had a pinfall or a decision, it would have been probably the match of the night.
Yep.
The selling of Seth Rollins when he got his eye jammed was actually kind of cool, because you saw the half a pint of, the ketchup that came out, and then Rey Mysterio, first of all, I didn't even know that they removed the little patch that he had on there. I didn't even know that came out.
You didn't know?
I didn't catch that, and then I noticed that it was gone, and I was like, "Oh shit, he aiming for the fucked up eye. He aiming for the mechanical eye." And then next thing you know, you see his whole mask is dry. The whole steps are dry. Everything is dry, including the fucking eye. Like, everything is dry. Like, I'm telling you, like, I thought I was expecting to see Carl from The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? I thought I was gonna see a blood bank. And he walked. He was able to still walk to the back. He still he had the wherewithal to take himself to the back and catch his eye and make sure that he holds it to make sure nobody sees it. You know what I mean? The theatrics were amazing. You gotta love the WWE for making a dumb idea look even dumber. Like, you gotta love it. Like,
They should have called the people from Umbrella Academy. They could have used one of those eyeballs. They could have used that. They dug it out. They put it back in. You saw gooiness when he was looking. They should have just called them if you want to do theatrics and do stupidness for
The
eyeballs.
Resident Evil video games based on an eyeball logo. Like just
Right.
holla at Capcom real quick. You know what I mean? They'd have made it look really, really good. You know what I mean? They'd have gave you a bloody, gushy eye that would. Like, the eye was so fucking clean. Like it was so clean. Like that shit didn't even make me afraid to lose an eye. Like I wasn't even afraid to lose an eye no more. I was like, oh, that's how it works. Let me see if I can just dig this shit out real quick.
But then they told you that his eye was going to be magically put back in because
But then 20 minutes later, we got an update from Charlie Caruso and the
not even a
WWE
doctor.
doctors 1 match later about there is a chance that they will restore his vision and the damage is bad.
They called it lobe explosion.
Bad.
Lobe explosion.
I'm surprised you didn't talk about him throwing up, but go ahead, continue.
You know, I think the reaction that we had about it, was like the best thing. It's like, he's gonna puke! He's gonna puke!
It was very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Also, what we missed was Impact Wrestling. Eddie Edwards defeated Trey Miguel to defend the Impact World Title. Heath made his presence known as he challenged Moose for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, as well as EC3 says that he's going to destroy his past during his time in Impact Wrestling to make himself for a better future. And Jordan Grace returned to confront the Impact Knockouts champion Deonna Purrazzo. So that is all from what we missed. So that takes us to our top news. This week, our top news is WWE SummerSlam Plans. This week on Wrestling Observer Radio, Brian Alvarez. Yes, they do. Brian Alvarez reported that, according to his sources, that Vince McMahon is apparently planning something wacky for this year's SummerSlam. Vince does not want SummerSlam to take place in the PC in front of developmental talent crowd. Instead, he has thought about moving SummerSlam potentially to a boat or the beach to meet the summer atmosphere. WrestleVolts later reported in the week that WWE is looking to host SummerSlam in the Northeast area at an outdoor location with limited fans, but as of right now has not found any interested states who will allow this to happen. So what are your guys' thoughts on the current rumors circulating for WWE SummerSlam? We'll start with you, Miss Krssi Love.
We all know that we're going through a crazy pandemic, and certain states are higher than usual, and then certain states are just doing what they need to do so that we can get back to semi-normal. So for him to try to do something wacky, you've already been doing wacky, sir. So I don't know what you're trying to do with foolishness and make the show even more of a shit show. It's SummerSlam. It's one of the big four. Please don't destroy what this is. Just have a simple show, nothing crazy. Just give us good matches. That's all we ask for. We don't need nothing out in, like, if you want to do it at the beach, that's fine. But people's safety, which we already know that you don't really give a damn about anyway. So just think about yourself and your family and other people's families, and try to do it as safe as possible. That's what I'm gonna say to him.
Top guy JJ.
Why are they trying so hard? Like it's like, just give us some good fucking wrestling for fuck's sakes. Like, and what's it? Did we get the title for SummerSlam this year? Like, what is this gonna be called? Like the hottest boat ride ever? Like, is this the summer extravaganza that you won't forget? Like, what's the theme? There's gonna be a name to this shit at some point.
Just like the horror show stupidness.
It's like, yo, why? Just. Like, first you're going to make the Extreme Rules horror show when the shit is full of neon colors, and when the set comes up, it's bright as fuck. I thought it was like the set of Nickelodeon. And then a horror show full of Nickelodeon colors. And now what we going to do for SummerSlam? Well, we're going to just eliminate the ring and everybody just going to fight on water? Like, what? Come on. Just cut the shit. SummerSlam is usually the event where we see some of the best matches the WWE puts on their main roster for the year. SummerSlam is usually that card. Don't fuck it up. That's
Yeah.
it. That's it. Just
Well,
have matches.
Yeah.
WWE lately has seemed to get in its own way when it comes to these pay-per-views and overthinking them. Do you believe SummerSlam needs a new location after the past few pay-per-views? And as you said, you didn't like the aesthetics for Extreme Rules. We had the greatest wrestling match ever at Backlash. We had the most unique Money in the Bank ladder match of all time. So do you think that SummerSlam needs a new location to kind of give it an extra boost this year? Miss Krssi Love?
I don't know, because they're gonna just mess it up anyway. So I don't even know. Like, it's just like, just give me some good wrestling. That's all we ask for. Like, just like JJ said, like, you're your own worst enemy. Like, just keep it simple. Give us great matches, and that's what we just need. That's it. Give us good stories, and we're good to go. I don't need all the theatrics and foolishness. I don't need that.
Top guy,
Yeah.
JJ?
Like, I mean, if they want to do something different, bring the set outside. Bring the set outside if you want the SummerSlam feel. Like, but the colors are fine. The blue and orange seems to be like a SummerSlam tradition.
Yeah.
Like, it just kind of seems like it fits. Like, just keep it regular. Like, just SummerSlam is SummerSlam. Like, just stop doing so much. Like,
Right.
don't have matches that is surrounded by water that has a few dolphins inside of it. Like, like we don't need an alligator lumberjack match. Like, we don't need WWE Battlegrounds coming to motherfucking SummerSlam. Like, leave that to the video game. Leave that to 2K. Like, you don't need to bring the shits to real life. We already saw enough of it at Extreme Rules.
How do you feel about it, Sid?
I think they do need a new location. But the two that they're kind of thinking of, a boat would be too similar to the Jera Cruise. So that would just lead to AEW once again saying that WWE is biting their style like they did with the eye for an eye match. And if they do it on a beach, they're biting off of WCW, which they're already acting like WCW to begin with. So might as well.
I was gonna say, like, but that's also copying them too. Never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Hey, if they do it on the beach, just call it Bash at the Beach SummerSlam. Perfect. You put two things together, they steal another WCW moniker, and they get to promote SummerSlam in a different way. And they can actually have fans for that.
I'm just wondering what the goofy match is gonna be for SummerSlam this year. Like, what beach are they gonna what artificial beach are they gonna fight on? Like, please, like, give the cinematics a month off.
Well, at least our good friend Justin from Wrestling Travel can finally get what he wants. He wants finally the matchup that we've been building for more than a decade.
Which
Brock Lesnar versus the Shark from the SummerSlam commercial back in 2000, I think it was 3. So 15 years, almost 15 years in the making. The Shark versus the Beast. So finally, to end this topic, Miss Krssi Love, where do you believe they will eventually have SummerSlam take place?
Probably on the beach.
The beach?
Yep. They'll find a place secluded at the beach. It'd be nice summer weather.
Hey, they got plenty of them in Florida anyway.
I mean, you know, that's also true. But their rates are very high, so you better stay. Don't have none of the people from Florida go there. You know, you gotta get tested.
Top guy JJ.
Please just don't get in your own way. Just have the shit at the PC. Just fucking keep it regular. Like, god damn it. Just give me my fucking wrestling. Am I asking for too much?
It seems like you are.
and this is what makes AEW so much better than them right now, because of their location. And it's like semi outside. It's still light, but then it gets dark, and they still have like some of the people like there. It still makes them like. So I think WWE is trying to like see how can they get to that step, but they just don't know how to.
I will say that the one of the main things that makes AEW stand out more than NXT when you're watching it back to back is the aesthetic of them being outside and
Yep.
how that the color of the sky like changes throughout the
Yes.
show. So it's
Yes.
beautiful.
Yes.
It's a beautiful.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So we
Can't
will
make
find
it up.
with
That ain't
just
the only thing that fucking stands out between AEW and like
we will get to that, but as always, 3 weeks away from SummerSlam, so we will find out where exactly SummerSlam will go, whether it's the direction or location. We will find out soon. So next up on our top news is some of you guys' favorite time of Tru Heel Heat. This is where we break down week 43 of the Wednesday Night War. We will give you the ratings for each show for AEW Dynamite as well as WWE NXT. We will let you know what happened on both shows, and we will let you know what we thought was the better show for the week. Of course, if you don't like the opinions of Miss Krssi Love, Top Guy JJ, and myself, you guys can check out Wednesday Night Warriors. It's going to be dropping on Friday this week. The new episode with Chris G and Romeo, and you can watch while Romeo somehow, some way explains that NXT is better than AEW, no matter what logic says. So this week, week 43 for the Wednesday Night War, the ratings. Miss Krssi Love, you want to hit the drums?
Ready?
I'm ready. So for week 43, WWE NXT is up from last week's 615,000 viewers to 707,000 viewers, up by almost a couple of 100,000. So give it up for WWE NXT. But unfortunately, they lose again to AEW Dynamite with 773,000 viewers. AEW Dynamite was down from last week's number of 845,000, but they still get the ratings win for week 43. WWE NXT had Dexter Lumis with a surprise victory over Finn Balor and Timothy Thatcher to qualify for the ladder match for the NXT North American Championship at Takeover 30. Kyle O'Reilly and the rest of the Undisputed Era returned to NXT to attack the NXT Tag Team Champions Imperium. We had Mercedes Martinez defeat Shotzi Blackheart. We had Isaiah Swerve Scott get a victory over Jake Atlas as he seems to be putting himself in line for a shot at the NXT Cruiserweight title. And in my opinion, the best match on either show this week, Johnny Gargano defeated Roderick Strong in a very technical heel versus heel matchup that is definitely worth going out your way to see. And as well, we had Keith Lee say bullshit on WWE NXT. So we got to give a thumbs up for NXT finally talking to us like adults. And he seems very angry at Karrion Kross as those two men seem to be on a collision course for TakeOver 30, as well as we had Dakota Kai and Rhea Ripley will go one-on-one for the number one contendership next week on NXT with the winner versus Io Shirai at TakeOver 30. Over on AEW Dynamite, we had Matt Cardona, the artist formerly known as Zack Ryder, debuted to help Cody fight off the Dark Order after Cody got a hard-fought win over Warhorse in his latest TNT Championship Open Challenge. FTR signed their official contracts with AEW, and they will host Tag Team Appreciation Night in 2 weeks' time, as well as they have hired Arn Anderson as their tag team consultant. Very interesting development right there. We had Omega and Paige defeat the Dark Order to defend the AEW World Tag Team Championships. We had Moxley and Darby Allin beat Cage and Starks, Ricky Starks, in a no disqualification tornado tag team main event with one of the sickest spots in AEW Dynamite history, as Darby Allin gave Starks a double stomp with a skateboard with thumbtacks on the bottom. And raked the back of Ricky Starks. That was brutal, and a brutal sight was Ricky Starks' back after that, as well as they did announce Moxley will verse Darby Allin for the AEW World title next week on AEW Dynamite. But speaking of the AEW World title, we heard one of the best promos in the history of AEW Dynamite. I'm calling it right now as your champion, my champion, everyone's champion. Not John Moxley, not Dictator John. MJF announces his candidacy for the AEW World Title as he challenged John Moxley for AEW All Out on September 5th. So, for week 43 of the Wednesday Night War, we will start with you, Top Guy JJ. What was the better show for the week?
Yo, this might have been one of the wackest NXT episodes I've seen in my life, yo. If it wasn't for Keith Lee cussing
several times,
if it wasn't for Keith Lee cussing, because that was the only thing I felt during that whole show, literally everything that happened in NXT absolutely just pissed me off. Like, everything that happened in NXT pissed me off. Like, and it just sucks that the Gargano and Strong match had to come on this episode.
Yeah.
Like, Robert Stone brand with the dark version of Mercedes Martinez. Like, this looks so dumb. Like, it's just dumb. The match sucked. And I was just like, what is happening here? Then I see Adam Cole as a running buddy to help with the Imperium after having a 400-day title run. Like what's happening here before my eyes? Like, what's and then let's are we gonna not talk about the crucified career of Finn Balor again?
Yep.
Like Finn Balor going to NXT. Oh, this is great, right? This is supposed to be. He has some of the most meaningless wins in NXT pay-per-view history. Why is he winning these matches on takeovers? It means nothing.
Yep.
They mean nothing. Like, yo, he was about to tap out to Timothy Thatcher. Like, come on, son. Like, yo, he's literally back on Monday Night Raw. This is Wednesday Night Raw for Finn Balor.
Yeah, they definitely should send him back because it makes no sense why he's there.
NXT just has they are so in their own way. They are literally becoming the second worst show on their TV programming because I don't think anything is passing SmackDown. SmackDown is his own can of shit. Like, SmackDown has got the king. SmackDown is the king of shit. But NXT creeping up there, yo. Like, and that shit is fucked up to say because NXT used to be my shit, but now like, I don't know what the fuck is happening over there.
You're absolutely correct. I totally agree.
So you're both going with AEW Dynamite
this week? No. First of all, I didn't like any show, to be honest. I like things from each show. I'm going to tell you that. For me, I didn't really care for either show. I like MJF. He's so good at being an asshole. I love it. He's great. Ted DiBiase greatness. He was wonderful. The signing was funny, cute. Them getting Arn Anderson. Let me see how that goes. That's cute. The opening match was very sloppy with the Inner Circle, and then it was
the Best Friends and Friends.
Yeah,
that match was whack.
Dumb.
That match was actually pretty whack.
Matter of fact, it wasn't even. It was. The ending. It was just. It was for all those guys that are really good wrestlers. It was very sloppy. I was very disappointed in that match. You know what I'm saying?
Matt Hardy with the main event music.
What else? From NXT, the poor Finn Balor. We might as well just let him just. Can we give him his release papers because he is such a good wrestler that he is not even being utilized the right way? Let him no. And you know I love me some Finn Balor guys. You know I will tell you, well, this is bad. This is really real. This is bad. Why is what's the name helping Imperial? Stupid. The Chauncey Blackhouse, that match was like, why? What is this? What was that? What was that? What? And I like her, and I'm like, what was this?
So what was the better show for the week?
AEW, of course, but still, nevertheless, I mean, I didn't like either one to be. Okay, fine, go ahead, continue.
it's kind of by default, man.
Right? Yeah.
AEW, MJF might have put on promo
Of the
contender
year.
for promo of the year, contender
Yep.
for promo of the year.
Absolutely.
I mean, AEW show was pretty sloppy. I mean, AEW has some sloppy parts in it, but I mean, they definitely that main event put on. That main event put on.
That main event, yes, absolutely,
NXT, oh God. Go ahead, Sid. I mean, this you can because you like to somehow help them out of the gutter somehow sometimes. And
this week I cannot disagree with you guys. AEW Dynamite was the better show. I think I was pretty much done with NXT when the second segment confirmed what I thought. I thought when I first saw the angle that the longest reigning NXT champion in history is feuding with a punter turned pre-show host. Yes.
Right. And then he goes with the whole thing was stupid.
Yes.
I'm upset.
He's feuding with a pre-show host, ladies and gentlemen, the longest reigning NXT champion in history. That's the state of NXT right now, that they think that's
I'm not trying to be drinking right.
They think that's a hot angle, apparently. But
SP, can you help me out on this one here? And I want you to what the fuck was the point of the William Regal statement after the Karrion Kross and Keith Lee why?
I wish he would have just announced Kross versus Lee. Do we really need Kross to win a match to get this title shot?
No.
All you putting Karrion Kross in a number one contenders match for him to verse Keith Lee is just really telling everybody Karrion Kross is going to win. We know it's going to be Kross versus Lee. You've been building this match for weeks now, ever since Keith Lee became the champion. Just make the fucking match, please.
Karrion Kross squashed Tommaso Ciampa.
Yes.
But he has to earn his shot at
he just squashed Keith Lee's best friend as well. The
and
last
we haven't seen
Apollo Creed him. That was literally Rocky 4 in my face, yo. That was so Rocky 4 in my face, yo. When Balboa stayed up at Drago, yo.
So I think there was good things from NXT. Like I said, the Gargano versus Strong was the best match on either show last night. I really enjoyed the Swerve versus Jake Atlas. That was a very good matchup, even though that was a lot of missed time, awkward spots in that match as well. The main event, the finish just is face palm material. When you put three guys, Finn Balor, who would be great in a ladder match. Yep. Timothy Thatcher, who's been getting a push. He's the guy that retired Matt Riddle from NXT. And he got submitted. He's the submission specialist. Thatch Can got submitted by the creepy bastard, the worst babyface in American wrestling today, Dexter Lumis. I was just dumbfounded, and the fact that I saw some people online oh my god, Dexter Lumis is so talented. Did you see him flip over the top rope and land on his feet, even though it was an obvious edit job? I just wanted to rip my hair out of my scalp, because some people just try too hard to compliment NXT. There was good things on this night. I disagree with you guys. I felt like Mercedes Martinez versus Shotzi Blackheart was a good matchup. I liked the partnership between Mercedes and Robert Stoneburn, but just when you kind of put both shows next to each other, a lot more things happened on AEW Dynamite. We had the debut of Matt Cardona, who looked amazing. He looked like he ate Zack Ryder. He looked like he ate Zack Ryder, absorbed his tan, absorbed all the tanning products in Florida to have that man looked red as fuck, and he looked ripped as fuck. And I am open to giving Matt Cardona a chance that I never gave Zack Ryder after 2011. So
I wanted to punch Taz in the face when he was like, oh wait, who is that? Is that Matt? Oh my god, they sounded retarded. You knew that man was coming out. Stop it.
Well, no, you gotta
very
you gotta act surprised. And can I just say something that not a lot of people analyzing AEW right now? How great is the Dark Order? How great is the fucking Dark Order? The Dark Order have their hands in everything in AEW. They have the storyline with Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana on commentary was hilarious. He was a man who had the Kool-Aid in his hand. He's sipping the Kool-Aid and he's like, "Ooh, it tastes good, but I'm not with them yet. I ain't gonna drink the full cup, but I'm gonna keep sipping. They're not so bad." Yo, Colt Cabana was great on commentary. I like Anna Jay being a part of the Dark Order to kind of get them into the women's division as well. I like the whole storyline with Brody Lee and the Elite. That was really good, and it's kind of the payoff to what happened back in December when the Dark Order attacked the Elite. So I like all of that going on, and I like the 6-on-6 match coming up next week. I like everything with FTR, the FTR Hangman Page kind of North Carolina connection there going on, and Hangman Page is more of a heavy pourer than our very own top guy JJ, so we got to give it up to Hangman Page for that as well. And
I tapped out to that shit. I was like, I like my bottles. I like to enjoy my liquor. Like that was just like come on, son. You poured that shit like it was Kool-Aid.
He went over the top with that. The main event was a whole lot of fun, from the opening with Darby doing the coffin drop off the entranceway, and then that sick spot with the thumbtacks. MJF promo, like I said, when I ran down everything, one of the best promos in Dynamite history. And the tag team title match was very strong. Stu Grayson does not get enough credit. Stu Grayson of the Dark Order might be one of the most underrated guys in AEW. This guy doing 450 splashes. He was working his ass off, selling his ass off. That guy is very talented. I liked a lot of AEW, but there was stuff I didn't like on AEW, and that's just a rarity. This was probably the weakest AEW Dynamite in the past couple of weeks. We've had 2 weeks of Fyter Fest, Fight for the Fallen. Last week was one of the best episodes ever of AEW out of nowhere, with Eddie Kingston coming on and opening challenge. Warhorse, he started off kind of clunky this week in the open challenge, but he did show
he showed up. He did good afterward.
He did show that he has a lot of raw potential, and he's like the ultimate warrior if he could work. So there was a lot
of sloppiness going on for that show. That's the only thing.
And the crowd was off. The crowd was very quiet compared to the last couple of weeks of AEW Dynamite, which threw me off a little bit as well. But there was just stuff that was just off. The opening tag was off. AEW, the number one thing that I got to complain about AEW, you promoted so much stuff for next week. The debate, the 6-on-6 with the Elite and the Dark Order and FTR. You got Matt Cardona's in-ring debut. You did not need to announce Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin. For the first time since this whole ratings war started, that felt way forced. That felt forced. That felt like you're just doing this because you're going up against NXT and you want to beat NXT. We didn't need that. The number 5 ranked guy getting a shot before the number 1. This is what MJF is talking about. You guys are discriminating against MJF. He is our champion and you need to give him his shot. But yeah, AEW won this week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. When I saw when I saw this Finn Balor was literally about to tap out, like I was like starting to get those. And I don't care if it's Remember when Chris Benoit tapped out to John Cena? I started to get those kind of vibes, like this Finn Balor's not about to tap out, like tap. They're going to lure him to tapping out in matches.
I felt like it was worse that Timothy Thatcher, the submission specialist, got choked out by Dexter Lumis.
He got put to bed.
And you guys all know that I love me some Dexter Lumis and I love Finn Balor, but the whole thing, I was just like, come on, guys, like this is bad. Like this is. Like I can't see Dexter in a ladder match. I can see Finn in one, but not Dexter.
Like this ladder.
Timothy, I even could have seen Timothy in the match too.
That's
Dexter Lumis does not seem like I'm not gonna get nothing crazy from a ladder match from him.
He's gonna stare at you climb the ladder.
Right, like And you guys know I stand for him. However, like it's not make like sense wise. Like if we're gonna do this for the North American title, he's definitely not winning it.
I ain't
But
even talking about that shit. That shit pissed me off too, man. Like
right,
really,
like
Keith Lee, man, you a double champ, man. Don't
first of
just
all,
give
why?
the belt up
Well, that
What was
was
what?
NXT. That was NXT just telling you that they did not plan this out in advance. So,
at all.
All right, go ahead for the
So
next thing. Come on.
all
fucking
right,
annoying.
WWE news. Fightful Select confirms that the July 27th Raw is and was the original end date for Kyrie Sane. She had a very heartfelt farewell message, like we mentioned earlier, on her Twitter page the following Monday Night Raw, and was praised on social media by several WWE superstars, including Triple H. Sports Ketas and our very good friend, special guest host on Tru Heel Heat 83, Tom Conahue, he reported this week that Vince McMahon is reportedly down on Aleister Black, stating that something is missing with him. It was
Oh, you
said
think? It's
it
you.
was it was said to be something similar, a similar assessment as Vince had for Cesaro all those years ago. However, Talk Sports and another good friend of us, we recently did an interview with him for True Heel's BTR, Alex McCarthy. He later reported that Vince is actually high on the performer Tom Budgen, which is the real name for Aleister Black, but feels his character is a gimmick and hurting him in the long run. Latest report says the angle with Black's eye will lead to him being repackaged. So that's very interesting. What are you guys' thoughts on Aleister Black right now and Vince's kind of conflicting feelings on him, Miss Krssi Love?
Just don't fuck it up. Just don't like. Nothing was wrong with his character. You just didn't do anything with the character. That's what it is. He came to Raw and it was just like, like snooze fest. Like, but let's think about this. Okay, we're gonna do the eye, so we're not gonna revamp him. He's gonna be rebirthed and come back as something else. Don't fuck it up. That's all.
Hey, something
Book
has to
book it properly. That's all.
something has to give. Maybe he goes back to his original indie name of Tommy End. Who knows? We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. WWE talent and officials say the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson, are naive to think anyone but Vince McMahon was responsible for their release, despite their belief it was all Paul Heyman, according to Uncle Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer Radio. Top Guy JJ, like we mentioned before, you weren't on Tru Heel Heat 84, but what was your thoughts on the Good Brothers Tell All podcast talking Shopomania and their thoughts on Paul Heyman?
I mean, a little naive if you're gonna think that nothing goes past Vince McMahon. Like Vince McMahon is he's the be all, end all, say all, judge, jury, executioner, check signer, pink paper pushing asshole of a non-existent COVID-19 world. So
Seems about right.
if you think that he had nothing to do with it and it was all, first of all, Paul Heyman is an eye for raw talent. Paul Heyman is the one that he's probably got so small of a voice in that damn company that he was probably the guinea pig to make it look like he was the one that actually did it. Vince McMahon is the puppet master, man. He is the puppet master. So, I mean, I see why they would probably think that, but wrong. You're wrong. You're dead wrong.
You're dead wrong. Another WWE employee, Cornell Gunter, has tested positive for the COVID-19 virus. But unlike some of the others, he was not at WWE when he contracted the virus, and he is said to be doing much better. AJ Styles is back on his Twitch feed again, and he's making controversy as usual. And this time, he says to never say never in regards to him going to AEW. As well as he says that Dixie Carter ruined Impact Wrestling for him during his time with the company, saying that she always tried to be WWE light, even though the performers wanted to be an alternative to WWE. And finally, WWE news, Lightshed Partners, a technology research firm, says that WWE's TV rights fees will decline if ratings do not improve. They also slammed the current WWE creative problem, stating their inability to create new superstars being a key issue. Variety also did an article on the declining ratings for Raw and SmackDown. This week's Monday Night Raw did its second lowest rating of all time with 1.62 million viewers. And ironically enough, since we just talked about the Wednesday Night War, combined, the Wednesday Night War of WWE NXT and AEW Dynamite did more than hour 3 of Monday Night Raw this week.
Ooh, damn.
So AEW news this time, we got Jon Moxley was on Busted Open Radio stating how refreshing it is to cut his own promos with AEW and how he had to read a script from a 74-year-old madman in his last place of employment. And in more controversial news, this week an old video circulated from 2003 involving an angle where Excalibur, Kevin Owens, Disco Machine, and Human Tornado took part in PWG. Human Tornado asked Excalibur and Kevin Owens to cut racially charged promos where both men used the N-word in reference to Tornado. Excalibur did not appear on Dynamite last night. This is said to be the reason why he wasn't on Dynamite last night. Excalibur actually did apologize for this last year before the video circulated, but I think Tony Khan made the right decision in taking him off television for last night. What are your thoughts on this issue right here, Miss Krssi Love?
Just unfortunate. Like, you haven't seen what we've been doing the last couple of months. I mean, I don't understand it. Like, everyone just has like a blindfold over their eyes, just walk around just like this. Please, just do that. Why don't you just do that then? I mean, and just walk into traffic. Just do that. That'll make everything much better, right? I mean, I just don't get people. I just don't understand how stupid people are, and it's just sad. It's just sad that we have to now keep going through this same, like, it's 2020. People, like, just walk into traffic.
Is it 2020?
And we still talk about the same shit.
2020, this seems like this is the year that stuff like this comes back up.
Yep.
Is what it is.
Yep.
But we hope that they can recover this, and I don't know, maybe Excalibur might not be on AEW Dynamite for the next couple of weeks. New Japan Pro Wrestling news, New Japan announces that IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Hiromu Takahashi will be out for the remainder of July with an injured shoulder after an attack by Taiji Ishimori. Ishimori challenged Hiromu for a IWGP Junior Heavyweight title match at Summer Struggle, so that match will take place on the August 29th Genku Stadium show. New Japan Pro Wrestling also announces that Minoru Suzuki will verse Yuji Nagata in a rematch from one of the best matches of the New Japan Cup in the main event of Night 4 of Summer Struggle this weekend. And finally, for New Japan, Kazuchika Okada, his very controversial announcement that he had been teasing is the announcement of the King of Pro Wrestling title, where there will be a fatal four-way to determine the first champion. The rules are as said as followed. There will be 8 men who will pick their own stipulation to bring into the tournament. That could be a ladder match, it could be a steel cage match, no disqualification, and the fans will vote on the stipulation will be for each of the 4 qualifying matchups. The 4 qualifying wrestlers will take place in the fatal four-way to determine the first champion, but there will be no belt. The person will be known as the King of Pro Wrestling champion and will defend that title until the end of the year. And then the winner and the champion at the end of the year will receive a trophy and be known as the King of Pro Wrestling for 2020. And then it will start anew in 2021. This is a new development in New Japan Pro Wrestling and a new title. Very interesting, I might say. What are your thoughts, Top Guy JJ?
I mean, I love the name of the title. Like, I love the name of it. I mean, I hope that this actually goes somewhere. I mean, but my only question to it is that then what happens to the Intercontinental title? Like, does it kind of
Well-
like overshadow it a little bit? Like
Well, the Intercontinental title is the dual gold, is with the heavyweight title.
yeah, I know but that's what I mean. But like what happened, like the Intercontinental title, I thought was actually a kind of an important title, but now it's just kind of like in the shadow, literally, of the major title, and then they're introducing a new title. When is that title gonna breathe?
I think the Intercontinental title had reached a point where it was on the level of the heavyweight title, so having it both as champion just keeps it there, in my opinion, and it shows that New Japan had a plan for their double title match, unlike NXT. You can check out my article on that on Sportskeeda. I actually compared both booking of both promotions and their double title matches on Sportskeeda, so check that out.
Yeah, that's what double champs do. You know, they just hand off a title to give up some opportunities to people. You know, that's what we do. You know,
Yes.
just give up some paycheck. Give up a paycheck.
And I also feel like this is a decision that's also made in mind with John Moxley being the IWGP United States champion. That probably would have been their second tier title, but he is
You know what? That you just fought, like, damn. So when that, like, that's a lot of singles titles, my man.
It is.
That's a lot.
I wanted them to kind of raise the prestige of the never openweight title, which they have been doing with Shingo's run. Shingo is, I think, only the 9th guy in history to have 3 title defenses for the never openweight title. But I feel like they just wanted to have another title to put in there and a title for Okada to go after without him going back to the heavyweight title scene. MLW news, Davey Boy Smith Jr. reveals that his MLW deal will expire in December of this year. So we're very interested to see where Davey Boy Smith Jr. will go in 2021. Over in Impact Wrestling news, Impact Wrestling star Eric Young had a scathing promo on Vince McMahon on the Chris Van Vliet show over on his YouTube channel, stating that he would like to tell Vince McMahon to his face that he has failed as a leader and the system in WWE is broken. He said no one is allowed to be creative. This was also echoed by the returning EC3, who just returned to Impact Wrestling. He stated on an interview this week that he is pretty sure that Impact Wrestling will not be the only promotion he appears for. So very interesting to see where EC3 goes next. Other wrestling news this weekend, we got Talkin' Shop-A-Mania from Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. A new trailer with details is now online. The show is presented by Pro Wrestling Tees, Pork King Good, and HighSpots.com. It's going to premiere on August 1st at 6 p.m. Pacific time via Fight TV. It's supposed to be outrageous, and it's going to be headlined by the Boner Yard match. Yes, the Boner Yard match. Check it out. It's gonna be.
Pornhub.
This pay-per-view is rated MA, mature audience only. Send your kids to bed. Cyber Agent announces this week that the merger of
so getting sued. So getting sued.
Cyber Agent announces this week that the merger of DDT and Pro Wrestling Noah have been confirmed, and their goal is to run at the Tokyo Dome. So this is viewed in a lot of ways as two of the biggest promotions in Japan coming together to kind of take down the number one promotion in Japan, New Japan Pro Wrestling, in the eyes of fans, of course. But their main goal is to run at the Tokyo Dome and elevate both companies, but they did confirm that the ring style, the comedy stylings of DDT and the more serious style of Pro Wrestling Noah will stay intact. And then finally, our last bit of top news, Rusev, aka Miro, has claimed that he is done with professional wrestling and will now be a professional Twitcher and content creator. So sad to see Miro go from the professional wrestling world, but I am happy that he is happy making content. So if you want to team up with a fellow content creator, come on over to Tru Heel Heat, Miro. We are waiting.
Hey, nice plug, friend.
Absolutely. You gotta plug. We gotta make these connections, you know?
That's unfortunate. He doesn't want to wrestle. Maybe Vince has made him not like it anymore. It's all Vince's fault.
Yeah, or Vince giving the virus to his wife, her mother, her father, and him. So that might have had something to do with it as well.
You know what?
Remember, it doesn't exist over there. What virus?
What,
They
what-
all caught colds.
I don't know what you're
They
talking
all
about.
caught colds. Ain't nobody get sick.
And finally, so we are all done with our top news. Put down in the comments section below what you guys thought about all that top news, whether it was WWE Summerslam plans, all the WWE news, the merger between DDT and Pro Wrestling Noah, the King of Pro Wrestling title from New Japan, or anything else that we might have missed from the top news. Put that down in the comments section below, as well as we want to know what you think about our ranking. That is our final segment for this edition of Tru Heel Heat. 7 years ago in 2013, July of 2013, Paige defeated Emma to become the first ever NXT Women's Champion. That, is, in my eyes, was the beginning of the women's revolution in the WWE.
Krssi, boo, what's the face for? That was a damn good match.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Sorry. That wasn't towards you
You
guys.
started yawning at his announcement and shit. Like damn. Like,
I'm a day friend. I'm sorry. No, that wasn't
I
towards
took
you
that
though.
personal, yo.
I'm
Emma
so
is my
sorry.
baby. Tennille is my love. Like, that hurt. Like,
I'm so
yawning
sorry.
on my baby, yo. Like, that shit hurt. Fuck.
Oh, man.
Damn.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Yes. So yes, 7 years ago, Paige defeated Emma to become the first ever NXT Women's Champion. Triple H was there raising her hand in victory. And since then, in the past 7 years, there has been 10 different NXT Women's Champions. There have only been 2 ladies that have won the title twice. It has had a number of classic matches and has elevated the entire women's division in the company of the WWE and probably around the wrestling world. So we are going to rank every single NXT Women's Champion in history. It won't be as long as our WrestleMania WrestleMania ranking
God.
where we ranked all 36 events, but we will try our best to rank this efficiently and tell you why each person is ranked where they are ranked. Before we get started though, I just want to name one person from each of you guys. We'll name the number one person whose time in NXT would have been felt more complete if they would have won the NXT Women's Championship. I will start with you, Miss Krssi Love.
You know who I'm gonna pick.
So go ahead.
It's Becky Lynch, of course. Duh. I think if she would have won her time there would have been completed. Yes.
Yeah, Becky
Out of
always
all four horsewomen, she's the only one that didn't win. Why?
Becky was one that always felt like she was this close from winning it and that she left too soon before she really could have won it. So I can agree with that. How about you, Top Guy JJ?
This is easy for me, Emma. Like, she's the one that was outside of the horsewomen. She needed it. Like, she's the one chick that needed a title run. If she would have got it once, she would have gotten more respect when she got the call up to the main roster. Without that lack of championship and without the connection to the horsewomen, she just became in that same lane with Peyton Royce and the rest of the girls.
Yes, I there is so many that you can like name off of NXT women that could have won it or should have won it or their time would have been more complete. You have girls like Carmella and Alexa Bliss who got the call up kind of early in their runs, but really made strides and improvements in NXT. But you had the iconics like you just mentioned, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, who really had. They had a great run in NXT, but the person I would choose is Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross had a classic match with one of the ladies that's on our list, Asuka, in the Last Woman Standing matchup. One of the best matchups I've seen on NXT TV in its history. So Nikki Cross is the number one woman that I say her time in NXT would have felt complete if she won the NXT Women's title.
Yeah,
So
that's a good pick, friend.
So three great choices.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's get to our list, though, of the
ranking for all the NXT Women's Champions. Let's start off at number 10, as in our eyes, the lowest ranking NXT Women's Champion in history is Ember Moon. If you are a longtime fan of Tru Heel Heat, you know my feelings on Ember Moon. Ember Moon, I I just felt that in the lead up to her run against Asuka back in 2017, I just lost all interest in Ember Moon. Ember Moon had a great debut and a great run up until she versed Asuka at Takeover Orlando in 2017. But after that loss and the way Asuka won, where she kind of cheated or bend the rules to get the victory over Ember Moon, Ember Moon became this crying, annoying, just disgusting babyface character who just whined and complained that Asuka bend the rules against her, and it just became nauseating to hear her talk. She showed her flaws as a babyface, she showed her flaws on the mic, and she showed her flaws as a character. Ember Moon was presented to us as a werewolf type of character, a dark, mysterious character, and then she became a whining, complaining babyface in the lead up. Then she didn't even beat Asuka to become the NXT Women's Champion. She had to win a Fatal 4-Way at Takeover War Games in 2017. she had one successful title defense as NXT Women's Champion, defeating Shayna Baszler when Shayna should have just beat her on the first attempt, and then she was beaten by Shayna Baszler in Takeover New Orleans in 2018. So any thoughts on the run of Ember Moon as NXT Women's Champion?
It was bad.
Yo, when you
it was trash. I'm sorry, friend. I love me some Ember Moon, but that her run was really, really bad. Like, she deserves to be at number 10 for a reason. It's there. It's all in the work. It's there. Go ahead, friend.
when Ember Moon, the worst thing to ever happen to Ember Moon's entire career, the whole career of Ember Moon, was the minute she opened her mouth.
Yeah.
Like it's like, when you don't understand when you're in promo class that girl that we're about to push needs a mouthpiece more than anybody in life.
Whew.
It's that woman right there. Like, when you don't match at all what you are perceiving, it is the biggest turnoff to wrestling fans. Like, it's literally like we were listening to Billy Kay with the Ember Moon persona, and it was like, oh my, no. Like, you're too good to sound like that. Somebody pump some bass into her voice, yo. Like, oh my God, I'll give some of mine in a heartbeat. Like, here, take some of this. Like, you need it, boo-boo. Like, oh man, you needed Paul Heyman. Your career would have been so lit if you had a mouthpiece.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that is why Ember Moon is our lowest ranked NXT Women's Champion in history. Coming in at number 9, just ahead of Ember, is Kyrie Sane. The recently departed Kyrie Sane won the NXT Women's Championship back at NXT Takeover Brooklyn, number 4, over Shayna Baszler. Her run only lasted 2 months, and she didn't have any successful title defenses because she lost the title right back to Shayna Baszler at WWE Evolution when the Horsewoman made their debut, helping Shayna Baszler become the 2-time NXT Women's Champion. Kyrie Sane had a great build-up to her run. She was a former Mae Young Classic. She is the first ever Mae Young Classic winner, and she parlayed that to becoming the NXT Women's Champion and ending the dominant run of Shayna Baszler. But other than that, her run was a little bit lackluster because she didn't even get to defend the title. So
technically, she should have been at number 10, but whatever.
No, because Kyrie Sane didn't listen. Kyrie didn't cringe me. Like she didn't cringe me. She just had an unlucky
Yo,
run.
I'm done with
Like
you guys.
Ember
Yeah.
Moon was like, huh? Like you couldn't even
I'm over
defend
you.
her. Like SP is killing her, and I'm like, yo, I can't even defend her. But you know what? Just mock him a couple times and play her theme music. But
Exactly.
it was like this was indefensible.
You know what? But okay.
So that is our number 9, Kyrie Sane, coming
Oh,
in
my
at,
shoulder! Oh, the shoulder injury was the best thing ever.
coming in at number 8 is one of the more recent NXT Women's Champions. We have Ria Ripley. Ria Ripley won the NXT Women's Championship back at December 18th, 2019, as she ended the dominant run of Shayna Baszler, her second reign as NXT Women's Champion. Rhea Ripley was the babyface that took down that heel run of Shayna Baszler. The great celebration on that December 18th edition of NXT. NXT actually won the ratings war on that night as well, so she can hang her hat on that. She also defended the title against Bianca Belair at Takeover Portland, but then she ran into the Omni Flair, as Wrestle Talk calls her, Charlotte Flair, at WrestleMania 36, and when she was defeated by Rhea Ripley after Rhea Ripley challenged Charlotte for WrestleMania, so kind of put her foot in the mouth there. So why do you think Rhea Ripley ranks so low here?
The aftermath. It was just the aftermath of the, like Rhea Ripley should have been top 5 easy.
Yeah,
she's a victim of aftermath.
She could have been, yeah, yep, she could have been, definitely.
Like, she should have been top 5. Like that the loss to Charlotte, just and then challenging her, and then Charlotte's run meaning absolutely nothing. It's just literally an aftermath of effects.
Don't worry, JJ. Don't worry, JJ. Triple H said Charlotte's booking will make sense in a few months. In a few months' time, you just gotta keep waiting. You just gotta keep waiting.
The same booking that got her getting her titty fixed.
Yeah, just keep waiting. Just keep waiting.
Okay,
just keep
got it.
Coming in at number 7 is the current NXT Women's Champion, Io Shirai. Io Shirai won the NXT Women's title back on just 2 months ago at TakeOver in Your House, defeating Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match. She has defended the NXT Women's Championship on NXT TV against Tegan Nox. Io Shirai had a great run-up, but I think her NXT career started with her heel turn on Candice LeRae last year in 2019, and the great matchup that she had with Candice at TakeOver Toronto, which stole the show at TakeOver Toronto, even had a better match than Cole and Gargano, which is saying a lot there. Io Shirai has been one of the best performers, pound for pound, male or female, for NXT, but she is ranked at number 7 because her run is just getting started, so we kind of had to place her lower down on our list.
She's like 7 pending.
Yes.
Right.
She may move up. She may move up to be ahead of our number 6, who is the Omni Flair, Charlotte Flair, the one of the only 2-time NXT Women's Champions
the only
in
reason
history.
Why she's number 6.
In history, yes, Charlotte Flair won her first NXT Women's title back at the first ever TakeOver when she defeated Natalya in one of the best women's matchups in WWE history. One
of Maddie's great matches, actually.
That's probably Natalya's greatest match ever, in my opinion. Charlotte parlayed that to a really good run in her first run as NXT Women's Champion. She had a successful title defense against Bayley at TakeOver Fatal 4-Way, against Sasha Banks in one of the first great women's matches between Charlotte and Sasha at TakeOver R Evolution. And then she was shut down and lost the title to Sasha Banks in a Fatal 4-Way with all 4 horsewomen at TakeOver Rival in February of 2015. So And then, of course, as we said before, Charlotte defeated Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 36 to win it for the second time and lost the title at TakeOver in Your House. So her second run was not as good as the first run, but what are your thoughts on Charlotte Flair, NXT Women's Champion, and what is her legacy as the NXT Women's Champion, Miss Krssi Love?
Her legacy, the second run we can't really. I'm not gonna even talk about it because it's it doesn't even really matter. But her first run was one of my favorites. That's why I had her where I had her at. I think she was good. I think that she defended it well. Like that match against her and Natty was wonderful. So it's gonna put her in the books where she is right now. So that's why she's at number 6. So.
Makes sense. And this is a good number for her because we got to hit into our top 5. Our top 5 starts off with the first ever NXT Women's Champion in history, Paige. Paige, as we said at the start of this, she defeated Emma in July of 2013 to win the first ever NXT Women's Championship. She went on to defend that title against the likes of Summer Rae and others of the early NXT Women's roster. One of the more memorable title fences that she had was at the first ever NXT Arrival in February of 2014 when she defeated Emma in a very good matchup on that show. And then she made her call up to the main roster after WrestleMania 30, defeating AJ Lee for the Divas Champion. So she is the only woman in history to hold the NXT Women's Championship and WWE Divas Championship at the very same time. Paige made history, and then she relinquished the NXT Women's Championship after winning the Divas Championship. So she never even lost the title.
Yeah.
So, Top Guy JJ, what are your thoughts on Paige's legacy?
And that's why Paige is getting the respect that she deserves, because Paige is the one that looked unique. Paige had the unique look to her, but then the fact that she was able to deliver in the ring as well. And then she was one of, and I don't think that she gets enough credit for being one of the first women to actually make the women's wrestling become more serious again. Because the women's wrestling until that point, the only one that actually was doing anything relevant with that was AJ Lee. So it made their mesh perfect. Like Paige was putting in that work in NXT and those matches. That's why I picked Emma as the champion that I wish that she became it. Because she's just lost in that bubble, because she's had the good matches with Paige and pushed her to her limits, and then she just doesn't get any of the credit for it. But Paige was the bomb, yo. Paige was that chick, and the fact that she had both those titles and didn't even suffer defeat, Paige is still a champ.
Absolutely. I agree with you. And coming in at number 4, just ahead of Paige, in my eyes, Paige was the first ever NXT Women's Champion, but this is the woman that kind of raised the prestige of the NXT Women's Championship and put NXT on her back. Bayley comes in at number 4. She won the NXT Women's Championship in the greatest NXT Women's Championship matchup in history, probably the greatest women's matchup in professional wrestling history, as she defeated Sasha Banks at TakeOver Brooklyn in 2015. She went on to hold the title for a number of months. I think it was a 7-month reign until she was defeated by Asuka at TakeOver Dallas in 2016. She defeated the likes of Alexa Bliss as well as Sasha Banks in an Iron Woman matchup. She was the first ever woman, along with Sasha Banks, to main event a TakeOver. Bayley was the NXT Women's Champion at the rise of NXT. When NXT was put on the map, it was Bayley as the Women's Champion, Finn Balor as the NXT Champion, that really took NXT to the very next level. And she is a rare babyface champion that had a long run in NXT, so that is saying something as well. So, Miss Krssi Love, what is your thoughts on the legacy of Bayley as NXT Women's Champion?
Just like you said, like when NXT was like really getting on the map, that's where Bayley was the champ. And you've seen, I wasn't a Bayley hugger fan, but her reign as champ was great, and she put on some phenomenal matches. And what was the Iron Man match that she did?
Yes.
One of my favorites, I have to say. But like it speaks for itself as one of the four horsewomen, and she was champ with Finn Balor. Like she had a good run, and what? Oh,
No, okay.
okay. I was like your face. So I think that's how I feel. So
No, I agree with you. Next up, we got this one was kind of difficult because these two ladies kind of ranked the same from
This
our
was like
rankings.
decimal points, man.
Yes,
yeah,
This was
It-
that was like
she's
what
like
the
tied
fuck?
almost.
I was
We-
like, what the fuck is he doing? But then I was like, oh, this is a decimal thing,
we gave
man.
this woman the edge over Bailey because she had one more title reign than Bailey as NXT Women's Champion. Yes, I am talking about the only other woman besides Charlotte to win the title twice, Shayna. Two-time Shayna, two-time Shayna. I think it was that something like that. But yes, Shayna Baszler, one of the first ever two-time NXT Women's Champion. She won her first title at Takeover New Orleans, like we said earlier, over the worst NXT Women's Champion in history, Ember Moon. She lost the title to our second worst NXT Women's Champion in history, Kyrie Sane, at Takeover Brooklyn, but then regained the title at WWE Evolution and went on to hold the title for well over a year. She lost the title in December 18th of 2019 to Rhea Ripley, but Shayna Baszler had one of the most dominant runs of any male or female in NXT history. She was one of the top heels in NXT. She was just a bully, and she had one of the best characters. She had one of the best characters in NXT history. The Queen of Spades, the leader of the Four Horsewomen, was the bully who took out people like Dakota Kai, like Ember Moon, Kyrie Sane, among others. She took out so many different ones. She has victories over Io Shirai. She has victories over almost a bunch of people on our list here.
Yep. I was just gonna say the same thing.
Shayna had the dominant run that so many people thought she would, and we are still waiting for her to have on the WWE main roster. But Shayna Baszler is well deserved at the number 3 spot, and thank you once again, Shayna, for my happy birthday wish.
That's where the decimals came from.
Also true. Coming in at number 2 is the boss, Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks is the second greatest NXT Women's Champion in our eyes. She won the NXT Women's Championship from Charlotte Flair at TakeOver Rival in the Fatal 4-Way with all 4 horsewomen, and she went on to hold the title all the way to August of that same year. She defeated the likes of Charlotte Flair. She had a classic battle with Becky Lynch at TakeOver Unstoppable, and then she was a part of the greatest women's match, like we said before, in WWE history and possibly pro wrestling history with Bayley at TakeOver Brooklyn. She had one of the most memorable runs in NXT history, and I feel like she was the one that first kind of built that prestige. She needed to be that great dominant champion for Bayley to overcome, to kind of take NXT to that next level. So if it wasn't for Sasha's reign, Bayley's reign would have never came to fruition. Top Guy JJ, you had Sasha way up on your list. What are your thoughts on her legacy?
To me, Sasha had literally the most meaningful NXT battles in NXT history. Like, Sasha's matches were so critical to, like, the match that she had with Becky Lynch at Unstoppable made Becky Lynch. Like, Becky Lynch, that fight right there.
Absolutely. Yes.
And the response that Becky got after that match, like, Sasha was the heel that made those baby faces that fell short look great.
Yep.
And Sasha was so damn good at being a heel. It made it so gratifying when her and the super baby face, the one that she always embarrassed, the one that she always bullied around, and Bayley, turned into the greatest women's match of all time.
Yep.
That was literally catch as can. You're going back and forth with both women having some of the best spots you'll ever see. But Sasha Banks, to me, and just, and that's why I was so happy for her last week, because it was just, Sasha Banks was that woman, yo. Like, she was that deal, and she ain't number one. Why she ain't number one? And Sasha Banks, like, she meant to me that much in the evolution of women's wrestling. Like, Sasha Banks is that one, yo. Sasha Banks did it. Like, Sasha Banks is that girl, yo. I like. I will
She's a
always,
boss for a reason.
I will always be a Boss fan. Always. And she's earned that. She has earned that. And when she speaks, it sounds like she literally speaks out of true frustration and true feelings when she puts that mic in her hand.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, this was where the boss was created, and we are finally seeing shades of that 2015 NXT Women's
Yes.
Title run now on the main roster. And then finally, coming in at number one, this should not be any great surprise here. For 510 days. 510 days.
Was it that long?
Let me just repeat that. 510 days. The WWE recognizes it at 522 days because the when the episode aired, it was 2 weeks later, but 510 days. The nearest person to her is Shayna Baszler with 2 runs at NXT champion with 418 days, but with 510 days. The Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, is our number one greatest NXT Women's Champion in history. She won the title on April 1st, 2016 from Bayley at TakeOver Dallas, and then from there went on the most dominant run in NXT history. She was undefeated prior to winning the NXT Women's Championship.
She never lost.
She never lost in NXT. She never lost the NXT Women's title. She relinquished the title when she got called up to the main roster, and my God, whether it was Nikki Cross in her last woman standing matches, the multiple triple threat or fatal four-ways she defended the titles against. She made superstars like Nikki Cross, like the Iconics, like Ember Moon. So many women, or even in defeat, made by Asuka. Asuka was the pinnacle, the champion in NXT history. More than even, in my eyes, more than Adam Cole, more than Finn Balor, more than Neville, more than any of the NXT Tag Team Champions, Undisputed Era, the Revival. It doesn't matter. The greatest champion in NXT history is the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka.
Absolutely.
Any final words about Asuka before we wrap this up?
There's no debating this whatsoever. The woman went 900 days without losing. That is almost 3 years.
Yes.
Like,
her reign is
and what was the beauty of her is that you believed every fucking day of it.
Yep. Absolutely.
Asuka, and excuse my French when I say this, Asuka was that bitch.
She was. No.
Asuka, like, yo.
Yeah.
When so I was like, I fucks with Asuka all the way. Unfortunately, when she had that fight with Emma, when she kicked that poor woman's head off the bench, I was like, yo, Asuka's a fighter. Asuka's a fighter. Like, yo, like,
that bitch.
I don't know how they're gonna make somebody believable to ever beat her. And this was literally in the best booking that WWE has ever done to a woman.
Yeah.
Is because they didn't fuck it up in her whole run.
Talk about it. Preach. I don't even have to say nothing. I don't have to say anything else to be honest. You said it all.
When they get something right, they get it right. And Asuka's NXT run was perfect.
Perfect, though.
Perfect.
Couldn't say it better.
Literally.
Right. That's it.
Couldn't say it better myself. So you guys put down in the comment section below your ranking for all 10 NXT Women's Champions. Just Asuka at number 1 and then everybody else pretty much. That's what we're saying. You can rank it any you can rank it any other way you want, but Asuka being number 1 kind of just is a precedent. You just have to keep it like that to have a logical list. So we gotta plug our lineup for the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. A brand new Wednesday Night Warriors AE recap and Dark Power will be up on the YouTube channel this weekend if it's not already up already, and you can check out the last episodes for all of those from last week. A huge week, like we said at the opening of the show, from J News Japan this past week, as he has new reviews for Lions Break Collision episodes, as well as New Japan Road, Summer Struggle Night 1, and New Japan Pro Wrestling Sengoku Lord. With myself, we teamed up for that one. A very great review as we debated Japanese commentary to English commentary on that one, so that was a fun one to do. Our last True Rewind, where we reviewed the post Halloween Havoc Raw and Nitro. You could check that out, and please comment below what your guys' thoughts on 1995, October 1995, as we call it, the worst month in Monday Night War history. And check out our YouTube channel this week, next week, where we will have a very special Warrior Wrestling Friday Night Lights preview. We are one of the key sponsors for the Friday Night Lights event, which is going to be on August 7th in Chicago, Illinois. It's going to be in an open air stadium, so if you like those social distancing wrestling events, it is coming to you folks in the Chicago area. It's going to be hosted, the preview show is going to be hosted by myself and Justin Clapper, our good friend from Wrestling Travel, and it's going to feature Warrior Wrestling owner Steve Tortorello. I had to practice that name, so thank you, Justin, for helping me out. Over on Facebook, you can check out the Tru Heels group page. That's TruHeels, and Tru Heel Heat. You can like the podcast page, as well as Battle Club Pro, Wrestling Travel. You can also follow Tru Heel Heat on the Twitter machine and Instagram. Top Guy JJ, Miss Krssi Love, where can they check you out on social media?
You can find me. I am on IG, Twitter, and Facebook. Miss Krssi Love _ or Miss Just Krssi Love. Sensational is not there, but you can still call me Sensational.
Absolutely. And then when you find her on Twitter and on Instagram, I guarantee you she's got some clothes on. So on Instagram, I am Tru Heel _ Top Guy JJ. At Facebook, I am simply Justin Johnson. I'm telling you, when the thumbnail comes out, Krssi is naked.
No, it'll probably be a picture. We actually work on it.
They've been doing the picture. They've been doing the picture thumbnails.
We work on it. I want to see what.
Oh, they're gonna probably do a beach version of where SummerSlam is gonna be, or some dumb shit. They're probably gonna have all the people swimming or some shit.
That guy's thinking now. He's thinking. He's thinking creatively. You could also follow our friends Battle Club Pro, Warrior Wrestling, and Wrestling Travel on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also check out their YouTube channels. Great stuff on the Battle Club Pro, Warrior Wrestling, and Wrestling Travel. Wrestling Travel is less than 40 subscribers away from 1K, so we hope they make that final push and hit 1K just before we do in September. And you can check out our good friend Jimmy Macaram with TV show reviews on his YouTube channel, as well as Marcus Cash's My Battery is Dying YouTube channel, as I am going to be on there with his new series, which is called ECW TF, where we go back in time to review ECW from the very beginning, where Shane Douglas throws down the NWA World Heavyweight title and introduces the Extreme Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Championship.
I'm going to get Marcus Cash a pack of Duracells. You know what? Next time I see him on show, I'm going to get him a pack of Duracells, man. I'm tired of this excuse.
Well, it's his gimmick now.
Pick up your goddamn phone.
And you can also check out and subscribe to Tom Colahue from Sportskeeda's YouTube channel, as well as Alex McCarthy. Those guys are doing great things, giving you the inside news from WWE, AEW, and beyond, as well as Alex McCarthy has exclusive interviews up on his YouTube channel. If you don't like watching us on YouTube, you can check us out wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, whether that's iTunes, SoundCloud, SoundCloud, Spotify, Anchor, whichever it is, Tru Heel Heat. Check us out and listen to us there. So until Tru Heel Heat 86 next week, for the princess of all the Tru Heels, Miss Krssi Love. For our resident Tru Heel alcoholic, Top Guy JJ. Welcome back.
Hell yeah! And for the man with the voice, slipping panties the third, baby. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. We are signing off for Tru Heel 85. Signing off until next time. Peace, y'all.
Laters.